Welcome to City Insider. This is the YouTube channel that will bring Man City fans the latest news of the club in our hearts. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Man City transfer not close despite Fabrizio Romano agreed claims. João Cancelo is not close to joining Barcelona despite reports that the Manchester City defender is on the verge of leaving the club. Reports in Portugal on Wednesday claimed the player was close to completing a move away from the Etihad, while Fabrizio Romano tweeted on Thursday morning stating that Cancelo has already agreed terms with Barcelona. João Cancelo has agreed personal terms with Barca. He wants the move, and Xavi wants him since January as priority target, the Italian reporter wrote. Talks now ongoing with Manchester City over deal structure. Barca plan revealed on Sunday, use part of Dembele budget to try again for Cancelo. Xavi did confirm on Tuesday that Barcelona are in the market for a pure fullback, but Manchester World understand that talks between City and the Spanish champions are not at an advanced stage and there is no expectation that the player is close to leaving. Pep Guardiola is willing to allow the fullback to depart this summer, and the 29-year-old spent the second half of last season on loan at Bayern Munich following a training ground disagreement with the City manager. Guardiola could also give an update on the situation when he speaks to reporters on Friday ahead of Sunday's Community Shield against Arsenal at Wembley. Cancelo has made 154 appearances for City since joining the club in 2019 and has scored 9 goals. He was an integral part of Guardiola's plans in the first part of last season, but struggled to gain a place in the side after returning from the World Cup break, which culminated in the Portugal international joining Bayern. Tactical switch to a system using inverted is also not believed to suit Cancelo, who has excelled when attacking as overlapping fullback at City. Chelsea and Man City step up Michael Olay's transfer chase amid release clause confusion. Chelsea and Manchester City are both ramping up their efforts to land Michael Olise with Crystal Palace amid uncertainty about whether or not he has a release clause. The Eagles signed the highly rated winger from Reading back in 2021 and has continued to impress in the Premier League. Olise was on the books of both City and Chelsea as a youngster, beginning in West London before heading to Manchester in his teens. Both teams are now looking to add him to their ranks as they eye reinforcements on the flanks. Palace were able to land Olise's signature due to a release clause in his contract with the Royals 2 years ago. A similar clause was inserted into his deal at Selhurst Park, which was £35 million. The Eagles, who are wise to the mounting interest in their asset, had looked to renegotiate his deal so that no such clause existed. It had been suggested that it may have been removed, but The Athletic now reports that the £35 million fee would still be enough to get him out of South London. Roy Hodgson admits that Palace have a fight on our hands to keep hold of the 21-year-old, who was named the club's Player of the Year. Olise provided the 4th most assists in the Premier League last term, and his fee wouldn't represent an issue for either City nor Chelsea. Pep Guardiola has seen several of his major names leave the Etihad this summer. Riyad Mahrez's exit was recently confirmed as he headed to Saudi Arabia, leaving City short in the wide areas with rumours persisting about Bernardo Silva's possible departure. So far the treble winners have only bought in Mateo Kovacic, and more arrivals are expected before the transfer window closes. Bernardo Silva desperate to join Barcelona this summer. Manchester City attacker Bernardo Silva is reportedly desperate to force a move to Barcelona before the end of the summer transfer window. The Catalan outfit are preparing to lose Ousmane Dembele, with the Frenchman heading for Paris Saint-Germain, meaning that there will be a new attacker arriving at Camp Nou before the market closes. João Felix has been heavily linked with a move to the club, but it is understood that Barcelona boss Xavi has no interest in signing the Atletico Madrid forward. Bernardo, on the other hand, is a long-term target for the La Liga champions, and according to Sport, the Portugal international remains hopeful that a deal can be agreed this summer. The report claims that the playmaker's agent Jorge Mendes is pulling out all of the stops in a bid to secure a move to Barcelona, but it remains an extremely complicated deal. Bernardo is a key player for Man City, and he was vital to their success last season, managing 7 goals and 8 assists in 55 appearances in all competitions for a team that won the treble. The Portuguese has now featured 306 times for the Citizens since arriving from Monaco in July 2017, and he has another 2 years left to run on his contract. However, Bernardo has made no secret of his desire to leave Man City for personal reasons, with the attacker keen to move closer to his family in Portugal. There were suggestions of interest from Saudi Arabian outfit Al Hilal earlier this summer, but it is understood that the attacker wants to stay in European football at this stage of his career. Man City are believed to be willing to hand Bernardo a new contract, which would make him one of the highest paid players at the club. Meanwhile, a recent report claimed that Pep Guardiola's side had made it clear to Bernardo that he will not be allowed to leave this summer due to his importance. However, the attacker allegedly still holds hope that a deal can be agreed, as Dembele's departure will give Barcelona a financial boost in terms of the transfer fee, and the exit will also remove a large salary from the budget. Bernardo has been heavily involved in Man City's preparations for the new campaign, and he started his side's 2-1 defeat to Atletico Madrid last time out in Seoul. Talk of a potential switch to PSG has cooled in recent weeks, although the situation could change quickly if Kylian Mbappe is sold in the latter stages of the transfer window. Josko Gvardiol set for Manchester City after £77.5 million deal agreed. RB Leipzig defender Josko Gvardiol is set for a medical at Manchester City in the next few days after the two clubs agreed a £77.5 million deal. The Bundesliga side was said to be holding out for a fee of £86 million for the Croatia international, but City have been able to push the transfer through at a price that suits them. The 21-year-old is due in Manchester before the end of the week for a medical, it is understood. Gvardiol would add competition on the left side of City's defense, having helped Croatia reach the semi-finals of the 2022 World Cup and then the final of the Nations League, where they were beaten by Spain. Midfielder Mateo Kovacic is so far City's only summer signing, with the Croatian having moved from Chelsea in June. City saw captain Ilkay Gundogan leave for Barcelona on a free transfer, and Riyad Mahrez last week completed a switch to Saudi Arabia club Al Ahly in a £30 million deal. The Premier League champions will take on Arsenal in the FA Community Shield at Wembley on Sunday. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.